If money gives you freedom, wisdom shows you the way. Warren Buffett, the sage of Omaha, left behind lessons that go far beyond investing. Here are 100 of his most powerful quotes, each carrying the potential to inspire and transform the way you see success, life, and true value. 1. Rule number 1 is never lose money. Rule number 2 is never forget rule number 1. 2. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. 3. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things differently. 4. Chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. 5. Opportunities don't come around often. When it rains gold, put out the bucket, not the thimble. 6. Only when the tide goes out do you discover who's been swimming naked. 7. Buy a stock the way you would buy a house. Understand and like it such that you'd be content to own it in the absence of any market. 8. When forced to choose, I will not trade even a night's sleep for the chance of extra profits. 9. Money will not change how healthy you are or how many people love you. 10. Don't risk what is important to you to get what is not important to you. 11. Be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. 12. The best investment you can make is in yourself. 13. You don't need to do extraordinary things to get extraordinary results. 14. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. 15. Diversification is protection against ignorance. It makes very little sense for those who know what they're doing. 16. The best investors are the least active. 17. Long-term investing always beats short-term speculation. 18. The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. 19. Never depend on a single income. Make investments to create a second source. 20. The best chance to deploy capital is when things are going down. 21. If you aren't willing to own a stock for 10 years, don't even think about owning it for 10 minutes. 22. Investing is not about winning every time. 23. The most important quality for an investor is temperament, not intellect. 24. It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price.
25.
Investing is not about predicting what will rise, but about knowing its real value. 26. Business without ethics isn't worth pursuing. 27. A great team can turn an ordinary company into an extraordinary one. 28. If you have good people, give them autonomy and watch the results. 29. We look for 3 things when hiring: integrity, intelligence, and energy. Without integrity, the other 2 will kill you. 30. A good manager builds a company that runs smoothly even when they're not around. 31. The best companies are those that create sustainable value, not short-term profit. 32. High advertising costs cannot save a bad product. 33. You cannot do business long-term if you keep deceiving customers. 34. Invest in a business any fool can run, because someday a fool will. 35. If you have a great company, don't trade it just because you're bored. 36. Nothing is better than a business with a strong brand, good management, and a durable competitive advantage. 37. The simpler the business, the easier it is to manage. 38. A business doesn't have to be complex to succeed. 39. Brand is the company's most valuable asset. 40. In business, reputation is built on trust, not advertising. 41. The truly rich person is the one who can live the way they want. 42. You don't have to be a genius to get rich. You need discipline and patience. 43. Saving is the foundation of wealth. 44. If you buy things you don't need, soon you'll have to sell things you do need. 45. You can't buy time, no matter how rich you are. 46. Money is a good servant, but a bad master. 47. The real measure of wealth is how long you can live without working. 48. If you can't control your emotions, you can't control your money. 49. Never rely on luck to build a career. 50. A dollar today is worth more than $10 far in the future. 51. Keeping costs low is the key to growing profits. 52. Money only makes you comfortable. It doesn't bring happiness. 53. Those who manage expenses grow richer faster than those who only increase income. 54. Financial independence is the best thing money can buy. 55. Never forget that every dollar you spend is a dollar you take away from your future. 56. The difference between the rich and the poor is how they use money. 57. Spending money wisely is harder than making money. 58. A smart person buys value, not glamour. 59. You can't buy happiness, but you can buy freedom. 60. The more money you have, the more expensive your mistakes become. 61. Time is the most precious asset. You can't buy more of it. 62. Do the job you love, and you'll never work a day in your life. 63. A successful life is not measured by money, but by the love you receive. 64. The best thing I ever did was live a simple life. 65. The more you give, the more you get. 66. Associate with people who are better than you. Pick friends whose behavior you admire. 67. The true measure of success in life is how many people you want to love you, truly love you. 68. Never do anything against your conscience, even if you're paid a fortune. 69. The most important thing is to keep your integrity. 70. You can't change the past, but you can shape the future. 71. Happiness does not come from comparing yourself to others. 72. The only person you should try to be better than is the person you were yesterday. 73. With a good reputation, you have everything. 74. Learn to say no. It's the most important skill for success. 75. Life is like a snowball. The important thing is finding wet snow and a really long hill. 76. Successful people do simple things that others overlook. 77. When you know what is enough, you are always rich. 78. The important thing is to know when to stop. 79. Nobody gets rich just by borrowing. 80. Do what you love and love what you do. 81. I read 500 pages a day. Knowledge builds up like compound interest. 82. The more you learn, the more you earn. 83. Good habits are the golden key that opens every door. 84. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. 85. The most important decisions in life are often the ones you don't make in a rush. 86. I rarely make decisions in a hurry. 87. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. 88. I never stop learning even at the age of 90. 89. Reading habits help me think more clearly than others. 90.
The biggest difference between successful and less successful people is daily habits. 91. Family and friends matter more than money. 92. As you grow older, you'll realize happiness doesn't come from what you own. 93. True wealth is living with the people you love. 94. A true friend is worth more than gold. 95. Love cannot be bought with money. 96. Time spent with family is never wasted. 97. The person you marry will determine 90% of your happiness. 98. I can buy anything I want, but I can't buy one more second to have dinner with loved ones. 99. A fulfilled life is one you look back, smile, and have no regrets. 100. In the end, when you're on your deathbed, you won't think about your bank balance, but about the love you gave and received.